It's been 2 long, terrible years of waiting, but finally the hostages are free. Sadly, not all of them are home. Shalom, my friends. Yes, finally the hostages taken by Hamas on October 7th, 2023 have been set free. This is a time of great joy and relief for the families of the hostages themselves, of course, for the citizens of Israel, for Jews around the world, and for all people of goodwill who value freedom and liberty and are repulsed by terrorism. It is definitely a time for celebration, rejoicing, and gratitude. But even as we celebrate the return of the hostages, there are dark clouds still above us. Let us first remember that Hamas is supposed to return all hostages, both living and the ones who tragically perished. Not only have they not done so, but it appears that they will be unable to locate all of the deceased hostages. And that means families will not be afforded the opportunity to give their loved ones a proper funeral and burial. It's bad enough that they're mourning the death of their loved ones. They deserve as much closure as is possible. And without the ability to bury their family members, they will not have it. Let us also remember that literally thousands of criminals in prison in Israel are being released in exchange for the hostages. This is indeed a conundrum. Priority one was getting the hostages returned, and Hamas was not going to do that without some sort of quid pro quo. I'm sure beyond any doubt that Israel agreed to this exchange with the greatest reluctance. Exchanging convicted criminals, including murderers, for innocent victims is hardly fair. Also unfair is the ridiculous ratio of hostages versus criminals. But the worst of all, and this is something I know Israel is painfully aware of, is the message it sends to terrorist groups that will continue to exist even if Hamas is successfully dismantled. The message is clear: to get Israel to release convicted criminals, kidnap innocent Israeli Jews, and hold them hostage until Israel gives in. This is obviously incentive for terrorists to continue to pursue this strategy. It works. Then there is the disarming of Hamas. The United States has said that if they do not disarm, they will be disarmed by force. I fully support the disarming of Hamas in any way necessary. At the same time, I know that Hamas is but one of the organizations that seek the destruction of the state of Israel and the killing of Jewish people. Will we ever see a world in which terrorism has been eliminated? Human nature and human history both suggest that this is not going to happen. So even as we rejoice over the return of the living hostages, we can't help but wonder when the next October 7th will occur, just as Hamas vowed it would. God forbid that they be correct, but I fear that they will be proven so. These are the feelings I wanted to share with you today. There is joy, but also sadness. There is relief, but also concern and fear. When I think about the prisoner exchange, there is anger, not at Israel for making the extremely difficult decision to exchange prisoners, but at what seems to be acceptance by so many, that 2,000 criminals are a fair exchange for 20 innocent people. But at least those 20 are finally free, finally home, and finally able to start what will be a long and difficult process of healing. May God bless them and aid them in recovering from their trauma. That's where I will leave it this week, my friends. Thank you for watching. If you're not a subscriber, perhaps you will consider becoming one today. All you have to do is be logged into YouTube to subscribe, and once you are, just click on my face right over here and ring the notification bell. You can also watch another of our videos by clicking on its icon right over there. As ever, until next time, Shabbat Shalom.